So quite clearly, there are circumstances when we couldn't accept devolution. I mean, for example, if there was another rigged referendum, not everybody will know here, but in 1979, the government held a referendum in which the dead were allowed to vote. People who weren't able to vote were counted as if they'd voted against devolution. So we wouldn't have any 40% rule if that was included in a devolution package.
If the Conservatives were to be returned at this general election, which would be with a very small majority, they would have hardly any seats left in Scotland at all. And they would then have to impose colonial rule in Scotland. They would have to send up English ministers to staff the Scottish office because they have nobody left to do it. The only people who would be elected are people they wouldn't dare put in charge of the Scottish office. It's probably Michael Heseltine who will be sent up to Scotland to be Secretary of State for Scotland, the English running Scotland. I tell you, that is a recipe for long-term confusion, uncertainty, and a move towards the breakup of the Union.
Right.
What we want...
What moral right would the Tory party, with only a handful of MPs, have to govern Scotland if you win the next election?
Well, let me answer that question. And I will try to answer it as sincerely as I can. I believe...
So you're saying that Scotland wants some special status? We don't want special status at all. Last September, John Major made a speech in Paris in which he was envisaging a European community of up to 30 member states by the end of this century. And what we say in Scotland, Michael, is yes, we agree with that. We're thoroughly in support of that. And we want the ancient nation of Scotland to be a full part of that process with equality of status with other nations in the European community.
Very briefly, Eric Spencer, and then I'm going to move on.
Yeah, for one, I wouldn't be sorry if the Union broke up, because I don't think Scotland's gained that much from it. They've lost an awful lot. They've lost they're losing their own identity, they're losing their own power. And Michael Heseltine, he's offering us nothing.
Well, he's the man, of course, who voted for the Scottish poll tax, to impose it on the Scottish people, and then opposed it when it came into England and Wales.
I'm going to move on because...